Hi, I'm Richard and I'm a winter recumbent rider.
Originally I was going to make an Ice Spiker Pro tyre review video in response to Saukki's video on his winter tyres. But as Saukki has a new video about his thoughts on what makes for a good winter recumbent bike, I thought I'll just share my experience and thoughts on that instead. I have quite a bit of experience in riding different recumbents through the Finnish winter. My first recumbent bike was an Asu Buffo back in 2011. Just like Saukki, I found out that small wheels don't work very well in snowy conditions, and the Asu rear fork is disappointingly limiting on the tyre selection. So the following year I found myself with a 28-inch wheeled high racer, a meta bike, which I converted for winter use with 4-inch wide fat bike tyres. I rode that bike in its different forms for 5 years commuting daily. The Meta Fat works okay as a winter bike, but it does have a few problems when looking at Saukki's list of criteria for a good winter bike. Being a high racer, the bottom bracket is really high up, and raising the seat nice and high for winter, one started to feel too hunched over when riding it. So I learned to hold my balance on that bike really well over the years, with the seat set lower, even during winter. The main reason for wanting something other than the Meta Fat was to go off-road better. The Meta can do light off-roading just nice, but the lack of suspension, even with fat bike tyres, does start to become a problem if you want to go fast, so you don't fall over. So I got a Specbike Extreme last November. Let's take a look at what Saukki had as criteria for a good winter bike and see how the Extreme stacks up.
In my opinion, a proper winter bike should have big wheels and wide winter tires. The wider tire, the better. The seating position should be more upright than in summer because it's more easier to balance. The bike should be rear wheel driven because I think it gives more traction up hills. But I know that some people have different opinions about this. Then it should be easy to pull yourself up from the seat if you have to balance the bike in some difficult spot. And then it should of course have some fenders. Well, that's not important when the winter is like this, but sometimes there might be some wet conditions. Then the bike should not be too high, so it's easy to start and stop, and the seat should not be too much ventilated. And I think it would be better if the bottom bracket it's not too high.
The Extreme comes with 29-inch wheels as stock, but I'm running mine with custom 27.5-inch wheels. The stock rear fork will take up to 2 1/4 inch wide tyres, so you're basically spoiled for selection when it comes to tyres. The seat can be set quite upright, as the bottom bracket isn't too high up relative to the seat. But the seat is quite high up, and many will find it too high for their liking. Saukki's claim that rear wheel drive is better for winter, as you get better traction, is only part of the story. With a front wheel drive bike you want the weight distribution favouring the front wheel so you get the grip. But if you do, you'll find it to have a tendency to dive into any softer spots and try to go through obstacles you encounter. Also, when you get the wheel slipping, you'll lose both traction and directional control for a moment. So with the weight distribution in favour of the rear wheel and rear wheel drive, you get traction, and the bike will tend to climb over obstacles instead of ploughing through them. So the Extreme has rear wheel drive. Thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video.